All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chid from Doing the Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a bit of a special. You know, you guys have been calling for it. You know, me and Lee do a live show every so often. We need to start naming this shit like Eagle Bang.
We could name,
like that.
no, we could name it Wenger Out. Just name it Wenger Out.
Blimey, you got people angry.
Yeah, we're calling it Wenger Out Monthly.
Wenger Out Monthly.
Yeah.
Right, this is on the Wenger Out Monthly. But yeah, so we're going to do a show just because so many people have been asking. I know me individually and even you individually. In fact, people are coming to my channel to ask what you think, which is kind of weird. So we just figured, all right, let's just do a show and just talk about this AGM stuff. Speaking of which, please say hello to my guest Lee. Lee, how you doing?
I'm very good. I'm chilling. It's Sunday. And yeah, life is good right now. Life is really good right now. And let's get it on. Boy, can I just do one thing as well? I don't normally do this. And I know I asked you beforehand, so it's cool, yeah? I just want to give a shout out to my boy, yeah? Right, he's in the comments section, yeah, in the live chat. His name is Beastly Jabs, yeah, in the comments section. But his Twitter handle is Reese_Nelson61. So follow him on Twitter. He's a top geezer.
I second that. He's on the odd occasion in my chat rooms when I do live shows as well. So big shout out to him and everyone else in the chat room as they start to flood in.
Of course,
so
everyone.
I should apologize. First things first. I know we said we'd be on almost an hour ago. I'll tell you, I'll be honest, right? Because you guys know, this is where other hosts might like try and give you the kind of PG vanilla version of, oh, they had some technical hitches, right? I'll tell you what I was actually trying to do. So I bought this, you guys, right? This is a mobile phone tripod. And I thought, well, you guys always bitch and moan about the fact that when I use my webcam, it's too slow, or when I use my mobile phone, it always shakes. So I bought this for you guys. Still ain't quite managed to configure the two things yet between my mobile and the show. So give me a second working on it. But this is how, these are just little ways of how I'm trying to improve the show for you guys. See, that's commitment to the cause, right?
Yeah, you know that.
Big shout out to him. What else is going on? Sorry about that. So, yeah. And also, we actually had a chance to meet in person.
We did. We actually met.
We actually met.
We nearly missed each other as well.
I bet they don't even like each other. No, we actually met.
It was funny though, yeah, because like if I had texted you 5 minutes after I did, we would still never have met.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, it's kind of crazy.
You were ready to go.
Yeah, because to be honest, the boys had left. They saw an old friend of ours. In fact, I'm kind of in trouble with that old friend of ours because I didn't actually go and say hello to them. I kind of just buggered off because I thought if I could catch you quickly,
yeah,
then I might be able to join them a bit later anyway.
Tell them the story about how we were on the phone to each other before kickoff. And I'm waving. I'm waving up at you.
Before kickoff, right? That's the most sensible time because anyone who's seen Arsenal Fan TV knows how massive the crowds are around Arsenal Fan TV.
Especially on Carling Cup or Carabao Cup or Haribo Cup, whatever it's called.
Crazy. And in fact, I had a few people tell me, why did you go on Arsenal Fan TV? Mate, it was watching Lee struggle to get on there, and he's a regular. And even he had to wait.
So, I did, mate. To be fair, that crowd against Norwich was tiny compared to the crowd against Doncaster. Yeah, the Doncaster crowd was 4 times bigger. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right. Yeah, it was 4 times bigger against Doncaster. There must have been over 1,000 people there. Yeah, and it was just crazy. But Norwich weren't too bad. It was, apart from like we were tucked in the corner against Norwich.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, mate, I'll just push in. It's like, are you going on this? No, we'll move then. Are you going on this? No, move then. Are you going on this? No, move then. Yeah, and everybody else is just like standing there, like looking like, who the fuck is this guy? So if you ain't going on, do you know what makes me laugh as well? Like, I'll just say this, yeah.
Oh, crack on.
The amount of people that stand there and film it off their mobile phone. What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's going to be on YouTube in fucking 10 minutes.
I don't get that either. I saw lots of people with it. Like, lots of people were holding their phones in the air. But bear in mind, Robbie uses like a massive light. Yeah. So how much are you really going to see from your camera angle anyway?
Exactly.
Right? And it was such a surreal thing. The only thing that I found the man is on another level is DT, right? And it was like the passing of the river or something. People just parted just to allow him to slide through. Then it closed up again. It was amazing. I've never seen anything like it.
Mate, love him or hate him, yeah, right? But nobody will not stop talking about him, trust me. Whether you love him or hate him, everyone's got an opinion. Yeah,
true.
The geezer's sound, man. I don't even care what anyone tells me. I know him really well, yeah. The geezer is fucking sound. Yeah, regardless of what your views are on Arsenal, the guy's sweet as a nut. Yeah. Maybe you should start paying me for this shit, because I keep like being his PR team.
I was going to say, he needs to cut you in, mate. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. Okay. Well, I mean, let's jump into this. So a couple of days after that game, everyone was feeling pretty, encouraged by the fact that, one of our own, or technically one of Chelsea's own, but he's now one of our own, was, a young player. It's always a nice feeling whenever a young player does really well. I'm hearing rumours today that he's set to be offered a £15,000 a week pay rise to his contract. Wow. So just from the back of those 2 goals. So clearly we're investing in young players again, just because apparently we don't want to spend money. We may as well do that. I was feeling on a high. And then a certain AGM happened. Lee, what do you think about these annual general meetings? I mean, I know it's something that we have to do as a club that's listed publicly, and all businesses that are listed publicly have to do one. What are your views about AGMs in general?
Before I come on to that, can I just say, right, Eddie, right? The guy had every single fucking person in that stadium out of their seat, yeah?
Yep.
Right? He scored 2 goals. He was man of the match. He won the game. We've got a new young hero.
Yep.
What was his reward? Nah, mate, you're not in the squad for fucking Swansea. Yeah? Yeah? Do you know what I mean? Like, come on. That's classic Arsene Wenger. Yeah, fuck it. No. I cannot let him get his head too big. Fucking fuck off, man. We could have done with him against Swansea in that first half.
No,
but,
I agree.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, coming on to the AGM, mate, I think that it is what it is. Yeah, they have to do it.
Yeah,
they have to do it, and that shows. Yeah, because it's all a little bit forced and false and forced. Yeah, can't get my fucking words out. But yeah, it's all a little bit fake, a little bit like, oh well, look,
the tick boxer.
Yeah, we have to do this, so we'll go and do it. Yeah, whereas other clubs,
yeah,
it's a little bit different, isn't it? But I think I know we're going to come on to this, right? But I think the way they treat some of the people, yeah, is just a disgrace, mate. Yeah, it's bang out of line. I mean, all them people that were sat there and they got handed a thing to tick yes or no to re-elect. Yeah, to re-elect Keswick, was it? And who was the other one? Can't remember.
Josh
Kroenke, that's it. Yeah, and it's like, we all knew, regardless of what everyone ticked, they were getting re-elected. Yeah, Usmanov picked both of them to get re-elected. Yeah, the reason behind that, in my opinion, is he's keeping that sweet. He's like, yeah, I want to get a place on this board. Yeah,
yeah,
I want to have decisions. Yeah, so he's going to re-elect him because he's keeping his side of the bread butter. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I think that I just think that it is what it is. They have to do it, and it's just all fake. Like, get out of here as quick as we can. I was following somebody's Twitter feed, right, and they were saying that the questions were coming up. Obviously, they've already been pre-vetted. Yeah, they've selected certain questions, right, and then they're on a big TV screen so everybody in the audience can see it. Yeah. Well, apparently the next question would pop up on the TV screen. Yeah, Gazidis would be reading it. Yeah, but it'd go off of the TV screen. Yeah, so everyone in the crowd couldn't see it. So then he was scanning through it. So he's got the full copy of it, but the TV screen's got the full copy of it. But then as soon as it's off the TV screen, you don't know what's on there. Yeah, unless you've got a photographic memory, right? Yeah. So then he was missing words out and missing bits out and just scanning and filtering through the question. That's a piss take. That is a piss take. Somebody has actually genuinely sat down, took the time to put a question to you, and you can't even be asked to read that out properly. Yeah? Come on, mate. Seriously. And you got nearly £1 million pay rise or bonus, whatever you want to dress it up as. Yeah? And you can't even be asked to stand there and spend half of your day just reading out questions from people that have actually took the time to send them in.
Let's get into Gazidis, right? If you're any long-time listener of mine, you'll know that I'm not a huge fan of this guy. I think he's a weasel. I've said that before.
I gave him a pass, yeah, but I put my words on that one, didn't I?
I think he's a weasel. I always have done. People allege that he does this amazing job from the transfer side of the business. And funny enough, I actually have a few stats that show that. Is that really the case? So when you look at kit deals, and I'm just using kit deals as an example, right?
Yeah.
Now, United have signed a 10-year kit deal, right? That's supposed to be worth $1.5 billion over the 10-year period of that contract, right? Now, that is set to generate £750 million in profit. In that deal, United are set to receive in profit 75 million. So a very small percentage, but 75 million, right? And that is obviously from their kit deal with Adidas. With Chelsea, they are set to receive 60 million in profit, and that's from their deal with Nike. Arsenal Football Club, who you might say, all right, well, you're not going to compete with Man United. They are a conglomerate. They're a huge organization. They're far beyond a football club. You would expect us to compete with Chelsea. My advertising revenue. Now, bear in mind that Chelsea are set to receive 60 million. Arsenal, from their Puma deal, are set to receive 30 million from their Puma budget, from their Puma profits. That is half of the amount of Chelsea. But
can I just say one thing there, right? Because I know what you're going to say, right? But can I just say one thing?
Go ahead.
When we tied that deal up with Puma, that was the biggest deal in British history or English football history. Yeah, it was only after that Man United then signed the deal with Adidas, and then Chelsea signed their deal. Yeah, so at the time when we signed that deal, that was the biggest in English football.
I just think, for me, there's nothing about the guy that makes me think to myself, you're doing a good enough job to worthy.
See, I can't agree more with that. I can't agree more with that, yeah. But one thing I will say, which is why I sort of gave him a bit of a pass, is that if you look at the figures off the pitch, i.e. income on match day revenue, we're bigger than anyone in the world. Yeah, so that's why I sort of gave him a bit of a pass. But then, I got sucked in the summer when we signed Lacazette. Yeah, and I thought, okay, maybe we're trying. And then obviously now it's all come out that we weren't, right? But But in terms of Gazidis, what he does off the pitch, if you could put a chimpanzee in that chair, mate, yeah? And I fully believe this now, after seeing the summer we've had, yeah? He would do the same job. Anyone could get the deals that we get. Anyone could charge 30 quid for a fucking fish and chips at the Emirates. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, yeah, I got sucked in a little bit and thought, oh, okay, you know, there were stories coming out that he was against Wenger and he wanted a director of football and this and that. Well, none of that's come to fruition, yeah? So, fuck him. Yeah, he is now on the bad books and he is part of the problem. Yeah, and then when you see him in the AGM in midweek, yeah, he's fully on their side, mate. 100%. I listened to something that Paul Merson said yesterday, yeah, on Soccer Saturday. And he was saying about... He kept calling him Mr. Chips instead of Chips Keswick. It was fucking funny, man. I love Paul Merson. Yeah, he kept saying, well, Chips Keswick had come out with saying, like Mr. Chips had come out with saying, yeah, which totally mugs everyone off. Then Gazidis will mug everyone off. Yeah, then they come out with go and read the Daily Telegraph. Then they ask Wenger and Wenger dresses it all up. And then everyone goes, oh, aren't we so lucky to have Arsene Wenger? Yeah, and the way he put it was fucking nailed on. And he even said, he goes, it wouldn't surprise me if it was all part of their plan beforehand. Yeah? Get them lot hated, so then Wenger goes and picks up the pieces. Yeah, and they were all in it together, and Wenger picks up the pieces. So it's like, oh, Wenger's not that bad after all.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, to me, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I actually think that board is playing the best long con game. They really are. The whole premise of conning someone is being able to get something for nothing. And the way I see it is they're charging these fans a ridiculous amount of money. And then when those fans quite rightly say, hold the phone, what's going on here? Can you give us some answers? We're brushed away like peasants.
Yep.
Literally, with this type of action. I've never seen, only us could go through something like this.
Mate, we're the only club in world football that operate like this. It's all secretive. They have contempt for all their fans. They don't want to tell anyone anything. Yeah. And I'm telling you now, right? If this was another country, somewhere like Italy, South America, yeah, mate, all these motherfuckers would have been kidnapped time ago. They would have done, 100%. Yeah, they would have all been kidnapped time ago because they don't fuck about. Yeah, over here, we've got a bit of a reputation of being nice and drinking tea and all that bollocks, yeah? Right? And, you know, everyone can come out and say, oh, yeah, Wenger this, Wenger that, or Gazidis this, Gazidis that. But no one's going to do anything. Yeah, and let's be real, the only way anything's going to happen, there's two ways anything's going to happen at this football club to get change, right? Only two ways that I see it, right? The first way is anybody in that club that's got a sizable amount of shares, sell them to Usmanov. Yeah? So he then gets enough shares to launch a formal takeover, right? The only other way is if 60,000 people don't bother turning up every week. Well, that ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen at all. Yeah. So the only way that I see it is that somebody on that board that has shares, if any of them on the board still have shares, I don't even know if they've got shares. Yeah. Or somebody in that club that's got shares, if two or three of them club in and go, right, we're going to sell and we're going to sell to Usmanov. Yeah. Then he has more shares than Kroenke. He has to launch a takeover. That's the only way we're getting change, because this shit at the AGM is going to happen year after year after year for as long as they want it to happen.
What do you take from Ivan's words about metrics and overachieving? I mean, there is, of all words to use. The funny thing is, as much as I dislike the man, in a way, I can kind of understand what he was trying to communicate.
Yeah.
But considering that he is supposed to be the spokesman of the board, seemingly the face of that board, you would think he would know how to communicate. You think he'd be better PR trained to a bunch of people who, quite frankly, are not that pleased with what's happening. And to use the word overachieving, The same man who promised that when he plucked us up from Ivory and Palace, that we would be competing with the likes of your Bayern Munich, your Real Madrids. That same guy is now saying that we're still overachieving. I mean, isn't that some sort of, that's like an oxymoron? We're not competing with them.
We're not. We couldn't even compete with Leicester a few years ago, mate. Let alone Bayern Munich. Yeah, the last 3 games against Bayern Munich, we have been absolutely spanked 15-3 on aggregate. Yeah, we couldn't beat Leicester to a title. Leicester City's whole squad costs more than Mesut Ozil. Leicester Mesut Ozil. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? We couldn't compete with that. Well, why can't we compete with that? I had a conversation. Yeah. There was a couple of lads sat behind me yesterday. Yeah, there was an older guy. I think one was his son, and then there was his son's mate. Yeah, right. The older guy and his son were Wenger out. Yeah, the son's mate was Wenger in. Yeah, the older guy, the whole game was gunning for Wenger, mate. Yeah, I swear he did not stop about Wenger. Yeah, right. And I'm standing there going, I could hear their conversation. I'm going, yeah, I agree with that, mate. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, mate. Right? The lad who was Wenger in was going, but who could do better? Yeah, who could do better? Right? Now, let me tell you something, right? The reason I brought this up is because when you said about competing, yeah, the 2 biggest clubs in world football are Barcelona and Real Madrid. That's fact. Yeah? They got the biggest incomes, they got the biggest budgets, and they got the best players. Yeah? Not necessarily the best managers, but they've got the biggest and best, right? In terms of players and budgets available to them, right? Atletico Madrid are a tiny little football club compared to Real Madrid. Yeah? Why did they win the league a few years ago? Because they got a good manager. Why did they were 1 minute or 4 minutes, whatever it was, away from winning the Champions League until Sergio Ramos popped up with a goal. Yeah, right at the death. And then they just capitulated in extra time, right? Now, I look at it, yeah, and these lads behind me, this lad behind me was going, but nobody could do better than Wenger on the budget he's had, blah, blah, blah. Bollocks. When people start realising that we ain't on a tiny shoestring budget, our wage bill is £1 million less than Man City's. Before the start of this season, our wage bill is 192 million. Yeah? Man City's was 193 million. Chelsea's, I think, was 200 million, and Man United was 210. Yeah? So, £18 million from Man United's to ours, yeah? Man City's was 1 million more than us. How many players do you reckon Man City have got over £200 million, £200,000 a week before this season? I'd say Yaya Toure, Aguero, definitely. De Bruyne, Sterling.
De Bruyne.
Yeah. There's 4, right? Well, 200
Probably
grand a week equates to £10 million a year. Yeah? So the difference between us and Chelsea was 8 million a year wage bill. Right? How many players have Chelsea got that are on 200 grand a week? Hazard? Diego Costa, maybe. I know he's not there anymore, but he was arguably on 200 grand a week. Do you know what I mean? Yeah? One player, £10 million a year. That's the only difference between us and Chelsea. Yeah? 200 grand a week, £10 million. That's all it equates to. With Man United, it's 2 players. Less than 2 players. Because 200 grand a week is 10 million a year, yeah? Let's say to round it up from 18 million difference in our wage bill to United's wage bill. Theirs was 18 higher than ours, yeah? So let's round it up to 20. That equates to 2 players on 200 grand a week. Well, when we're paying the likes of fucking Debuchy 75 grand, and we were paying Gibbs 70 grand, and we're paying Mertesacker 70 grand, yeah? Do you know what I'm saying? We're paying Theo fucking, I can't cross a ball, I can't shoot a ball, Walcott, fucking 140 grand a week. Yeah? That is the difference. We're paying shit bang average footballers way too much money. Whereas the likes of Chelsea, the likes of City and the likes of United will go out and go, bang, Ibrahimovic, 200 grand a week. Yeah? Aguero, 250. Yaya, you're on 200 grand. Sterling, you're on 200. Yeah? We don't do that. We go 75, 75, 100, 140. Yeah? Fuck the 140 for Theo. Pay it all to Alexis Sanchez on top of what he's getting paid. Yeah. And then go and pay Debuchy 30 grand a week. That's what the other clubs do, mate. There's players at Chelsea. Yeah. That Zappa Costa at Chelsea, I guarantee he ain't on any more than 50 grand a week. Guarantee it. Yeah. I guarantee John Stones is not on any more than 60 grand a week.
I guarantee Theo wouldn't get £140,000 a week in any other club.
That's what I'm saying. And when people say we can't compete, that's bullshit, mate. Yeah. In the last 3 seasons alone, we have outspent Chelsea. And in them last 3 seasons, they've won 2 league titles. So this myth about we can't compete is exactly that. And this is what I was trying to explain to the lad behind me. And he's going, "Oh, you'll blame Wenger for anything." I said, no. I'm hitting you with facts, right? And this is why I brought up Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid, yeah, we're a bigger club than Atletico Madrid. So how comes they can compete with the 2 biggest powerhouses in world football? Yeah? How can they keep churning out players that keep turning out world class? Yeah? Because they've got a top draw manager. You take Arsene Wenger out of Arsenal and put him in Atletico Madrid, would they have won the title the season they won the title? No. Would Arsenal win a league title with Simeone as manager? Possibly.
Depends. The resources and tools is given.
One thing's for sure, he'd have half the players up by their throat in the dressing room the first day he walks in there. Yeah? It scared the shit out of them to the point where they would run through brick walls for him.
You have wanks at night dreaming of that moment where Simeone grabbed Ozil by his throat. Run! Let's say.
Mate, I'd love to see Ozil's face if Simeone walked in the dressing room, man. Would shit his pants, bruv, yeah? He'd need baby wipes to clear that shit up. Yeah, but, you know, like, I'll just look at it and I'll just say, like, you know, the board are coming out with all this bollocks about we want to compete with this club and that club. Yeah, let's have it right, yeah? This board are the same board who sold our asses and sold our souls when we left, yeah, and moved here. A lot of them still on that board are the same people that were still there, yeah? We've also got the fact that we've got a massive income. We've got £200 million in the bank, yeah? And they're still coming out with, we can compete. We want to do what's best. Well, why don't we spend our money? Yeah, can somebody explain to me from that board why we do not go out and go, do you know what? Instead of haggling over £2 million for Kante, yeah, pay it. Because I'll tell you something now, Kante would have been a better buy than Granit Xhaka.
He would have been. I don't care what anyone tells me. He would have been.
Go and pay the extra £2 million. How many times do we hear, season after season, we could have had this player, we could have had that player, but they didn't want to pay the... Juan Mata is another prime example, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
my man was shown that stadium. He was getting taken a tour.
He was doing a VIP fucking all access, all that bollocks around the stadium. Yeah. We haggled over the deal for so long that he was coming towards the end of the year of that particular, and then it kicks into another year. So it was coming towards the end of June into July, yeah? Right? By which time, I think it was £24 million. The deal would have been, yeah? Because it then kicked into another year, it was in his contract that it went up to 27 million, right? Now, his agent, I've heard this story a few times, right? His agent said to him, go to Arsenal. He got shown around the ground, spoke to Arsene Wenger, met everybody else, yeah? But because we took so long over that deal, his agent fucked off on holiday and said, fuck it, I ain't doing a deal until I get back. By which time it kicked in to another year, the beginning of the end of his contract, which boosted the price up £3 million. Yeah? We said, fuck it, we ain't spending the extra 3 million. Come on, man. Juan Mata went to Chelsea and was their player of the season back to back. Do you know what I mean? And that is what we do. We haggle, we barter, we piss about. Yeah? And this is why we will never compete. Yeah, you've only got to look at the likes of Alexis Sanchez, Mesut Ozil. They've been sold dreams, mate. Come and play for Arsenal. We're going places. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And at the time, they're not wanted by their clubs. Arsenal were a big club. Fuck it, we'll go there. It's no coincidence they want to leave. We ain't done nothing. They have been sold dreams, mate. Yeah? And if they go, let them go. Yeah, fair play. Nobody should slag them off. But our fan base will. If Mesut Ozil rocks up at Man United next season, he's a snake. He's this, he's that. If Alexis Sanchez rocks up at Man City, fucking snake, Judas. Nah. It's true though, isn't it? Let's be real. Look at the way Cesc gets treated.
Yeah.
Cesc left to go to Barcelona, his family club, his boyhood club. Yeah? The man was begging to come back. And then we went, don't need you, mate. We've got Aaron Ramsey. So he goes to Chelsea. Now he's a snake. Fuck off. Yeah? I'd have him back in a heartbeat. The geezer is class, yeah? But that's what our fan base do. They build up a player to the point where they're fucking world class when they play for us. And then as soon as they leave, because the dreams that they were sold don't happen, they're then a snake.
And that's the thing. Alan P said it in the chat room. And I know me and you've said it on previous shows. I'd take Cesc back tomorrow. I'd take him back tomorrow.
All day long. Mate, the geezer is the best midfielder, the best attacking midfielder in the Premier League. That's my opinion. I think, fuck your De Bruynes, fuck your Ericssons. They're great players. No, there's no doubt in that. They're both class, the two I just said, yeah? Fabregas pisses all over him. The guy is unbelievably good, mate. Yeah? And, like, I just look here and I just think, like, I can't wait, yeah? I can't, right? Because seeing all these people, and I do mug Ozil off left, right and centre every season, yeah? Because to me, he ain't done it. And I'm not going to go off on him, yeah? Like, and start ranting about him. But I'm not, because I'll be here for 2 hours, right? But it's going to be absolutely fucking hilarious. And I can't wait to retweet all their shit, yeah? All the people that have mugged me off, yeah? For slagging him off. When he signs for United next summer, or even in January, and they all turn into, he's a snake, he's shit. As soon as he has a bad game, he's shit. Wait till I start retweeting all their tweets saying he's world class. Yeah, from fucking 2 years earlier. Yeah, because that's what we do as fans. They sit here and build up our players, and as soon as they leave, they're shit.
Yeah.
You've only got to look at Pogba, right? Pogba signed for 90 million, whatever it is, yeah? He's shit. Why is he shit? Can somebody come and tell me why Pogba's shit? Because in Italy, he was ripping it up. Yeah? He comes here, didn't have the best of seasons, still scored more goals, or level on goals with Ozil. Yeah? Still got a few assists. Didn't really have it off, but guess what? This season, he started like a house on fire, yeah? And then got injured. Yeah? What, is Pogba still shit? Do you know what I mean? It's like, if he signed...
if we're telling the truth, United badly miss him right now.
Of course they do. Yeah, if he signed for Arsenal and done all this dabbing bollocks, yeah, let's dab, yeah. If he done all that, yeah, would Arsenal fans be coming out with tweets about he's embarrassing then? Of course they wouldn't. You'd see fucking thousands of Arsenal fans dabbing every week, yeah. And I know that's football, and I know that's rivalry between fans and this and that. But come on, right? Let's look at it logically, yeah. The players that we've got here that want to leave have been sold dreams. Them dreams were, we're going to compete with the world's elite. We can't compete with fucking Leicester, right? So when you've got these muppets in their suits standing there, like parring off fucking shareholders and other fans and stuff like that, yeah, it's no coincidence that players want to leave. These people don't even want to talk to supporters that have built that stadium, that have paid their hard-earned money, that they've worked 50, 60, 70 hours a week for, to go and buy their season ticket, to then go to the game, so then Arsenal could go and build a new stadium, to go and buy Alexis Sanchez, to go and buy Mesut Ozil. And now they're just going to walk out on a free? Do you know what I mean? It's bollocks, mate. The whole club, the way the club's run, in my opinion, yeah, I reckon my 7-year-old could run it better. I'm not even joking. I reckon my daughter could run that club better. I'm being straight up. Yeah? What idiot sanctioned Van Persie to Man United? Yeah? But again, why did he want to go? Because he didn't like the direction the club was going in. Because again, he was sold dreams. Yeah? Do you know what I mean? Everyone calls Van Persie a snake. Is he a snake really though? He just see it 5 years before everyone else. Because he was involved in it day in, day out. He see it every day. Yeah? He just see it before us all.
See that now, right? They're starting to see that it's pretty on point when it came to it, when he saw the writing on the wall. And
well, Chris, let me put it to you like this, right? How many times do Arsenal get booed off at half time in a home game? Maybe not so much away. Fuck the aways, yeah. But a home game. Yesterday they were booed off.
It's probably a lot because we're always going down.
Yeah, but we were booed off, and this is what I'm saying. We were booed off. That game yesterday, we were booed off. That's Wenger's fortress. That's his home. Yeah. Away games is different, yeah, because you get different sets of fans there, yeah. Right, and the away supporters tend to be more Wenger out, to be honest with you. Although it's a smaller group because it's only 3,000 or 4,000 going away, whatever, yeah. But mate, it's like, you know, you don't see Arsenal booed off often. Fans have had enough of it. They're paying top dollar, yeah. Even though they've dropped the season ticket prices this season because we're in Europa League instead of Champions League, they dropped them about 100 odd quid, yeah. It's a fair play to them for doing that, right? But it's still a lot of money. It's still double what Man United are paying. It's still fucking more double than Man City are paying. It's still more than Chelsea are paying. Yeah. And, you know, they're all in Champions League. Yeah. So people are getting the ump with it, mate. And like, it's more and more people.
That's why I say it's the best and biggest long con in football. Because there is no other club that would. Here's the thing, right? I could even begin to accept Gazidis' overachievement statement if we were paying the prices. Don't be charging us title-winning prices.
Exactly.
For that.
For relegation football.
You know what I mean? Do you think
I
have any problem? Do you think if I was a City fan, I would have no problem paying that type of prices to watch City right now? And as much as
this, right? When I went on holiday in September, right, I met a couple of Man City fans, a son and his dad, yeah. And I was chatting to him. I was in this pub, just chilling in the daytime, watching. I think I was watching Man City, funny enough. Yeah. No, sorry, it must have been earlier than September. It must have been March. Yeah, when I went Cape Verde. Yeah, it was Cape Verde. Right? I was sat in this pub and I was watching Man City. Yeah. And this father and son was sat there. I was chatting away to him. And they said, who do you support? I said, I support Arsenal. I was just general chit chat, sat on their table with them watching the game. Yeah. And I said, how much is your season ticket? He goes, you go first. Tell me how much your season tickets are. Yeah. So I said, roughly about 1,100, 1,200, roughly. Yeah, cheapest one. I said, they go up to stupid money, yeah? He goes, me and my son can both go to Man City week in, week out, and still have change at £1,200. That's a team that have now gone out and got Pep Guardiola. And before people come with, oh yeah, but they got a whole country backing them, who cares? Because if a whole country were backing Arsenal, would anyone give a fuck? Yeah? If Pep Guardiola was Arsenal manager, would anyone give a shit? If Aguero played up front for us, would we care? Yeah? Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Yeah? Let me spin that on the flip side of that, yeah? That lot down the road. Right? People can come with the money. I'm going to give you a complete flip side to this money bullshit about they got a country and all that bollocks, yeah? Everyone says, and before anyone tries to be clever and says, well, Tottenham ain't won nothing. Yeah, great, they ain't. Yeah, fantastic. Long may that continue. Yeah? But they've put up more of a fucking title challenge than we have. Yeah?
Do you
know what I'm saying? And look at their team. Look at their fucking team. Look at what they are doing on a shoestring. Yeah, on a shoestring. So before people come with, oh yeah, Man City, Man United, Chelsea, they're flooding the market. They're buying all these players that they don't ever use, and then they loan them out left, right, and centre. Well, Tottenham don't. So why are Tottenham better than us? Yeah. And before anyone comes in the comments and says, oh, well, we've won 3 of the last 4 FA Cups, I said this to the guy sat behind me yesterday who said exactly the same thing. Yeah. We used to take the piss out of Tottenham for being a cup team. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now we're the cup team. And that cup
Yeah.
is now saving Wenger's arse week, year in, year out. Yeah? So what? We're allowed to take the piss out of Tottenham when they're winning cups and we're not. Yeah? But then when we're winning the cups and they're not, we can laud it and throw it in their face. Is that how it works? Come on, seriously. We have got the capabilities of Arsenal Football Club with the money, the players we've already got, yeah, and everything that's in place, the training ground, all the youth teams and everything in place already to be good enough to go and win a title. Yeah? I don't buy into all this bollocks about Kroenke stop suspending or fuck off. No, he don't.
But this is what pains my soul as an Arsenal fan, right? I don't know if anybody watching this or even you, Lee, do this. I do this. So I watch a lot of football-related stuff on YouTube, right? And it pains. I physically can't watch a segment or a show dedicated to what will eventually turn into them laughing at Arsenal. So whether that is, oh, Arsenal lost the game, or oh, Arsene Wenger said something like this, or oh, the AGM, what a bunch of clowns are running Arsenal football. It hurts my soul. So this wouldn't happen anywhere else. Why does it have to happen here? Why? Like, listen, like Liverpool are probably the closest relating club I could think of that have suffered our bullshit. Where they're a big club who have not won a league title in a long time and have had previously American owner the way we do. Now, some Liverpool fans don't like their current American owner, but that's by the by. I tried to relate it and I tried to think what are the similarities that I can squeeze out from this. And even in their situation, that joke American owner, they didn't stick with the same goddamn manager for the entire time.
Exactly. Do you know what pisses me off, right? Do you know what, sorry to cut you off. Do you know what pisses me off, right? Yeah, this is the biggest thing that winds me up, yeah, is when people go, yeah, but it's all Kroenke's fault. Yeah? No, it ain't. When Kroenke took over at that football club, I'm spitting food out. when Kroenke took over at that football club, he would have had a conversation with Arsene Wenger about the direction that club is going in. Yeah? This is my plan for Arsenal. This is my vision. This is my long-term plan, yeah? Arsene Wenger would have had that meeting with him and sat down with him, yeah? Right? Arsene Wenger decided to go, yeah, I'll go with your plan. I'll go with your fucking plan. You keep paying me X amount of pounds every year and I'll keep spinning out the same shit and I'll get you top 4 every season. Yeah? Now, if Arsene Wenger had anything about him, he would have come out and said, nah, this is what they've got planned for the club and I don't want to be any fucking part of it. Yeah? So people can blame Kroenke all they like. Yeah? But Kroenke ain't picking Lacazette and Kolasinac on the bench up at fucking Anfield. Yeah? Kroenke ain't picking the starting 11. Kroenke ain't taking off Lacazette after 70 minutes. Kroenke ain't fucking making the substitutions. The same like-for-like bollocks. Kroenke ain't playing four central midfielders in fucking defence. Yeah? So, let's get off this, it's all Kroenke, because it ain't all Kroenke. It's not. Let's be real, it ain't. Wenger has spun that geezer. Yes, he is a fucking huge problem, right? A huge problem. And he seems like he's getting bigger problem each season, yeah? But
percentage-wise, how much of a problem is he? We're talking about a percentage of a problem.
I'd say Wenger's a bigger problem. So
you would say,
let's say 51% Wenger, 49% Kroenke.
Could we win another title under Kroenke with a different manager?
Yes. I honestly believe that. Yeah, because Ancelotti's available. He ain't got a job.
Yeah.
Would Ancelotti get a better performance out of this team than Wenger? I genuinely believe he would.
I believe he would. I think people would be playing in their proper positions for a start.
Well, exactly. I mean, you've only got to look at the game the other night. He's got El Neni at fucking centre-back. Yeah? He put Iwobi at left wing-back. Fucking come on, seriously. The guy is a fucking central attacking midfielder that can barely fucking do anything at right wing. Yeah? So you go and put him at left wing back. Yeah? Come on. Seriously.
To be fair, he improved when he dropped into left wing back.
Like, to be honest, he did actually do all right. Yeah, and I do love Iwobi, but let's be real. In terms of fucking what he's doing, he played Debuchy at centre-back. Yeah?
That was another one that did all right on Tuesday, though.
He's done all right in both the games he's played. But you're playing a right back at centre-back. You're playing a central attacking midfielder at left wing-back. Yeah? You're playing a central defensive midfielder at centre-back. Yeah? You're playing another central attacking midfielder at right wing-back. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah? Mate, if I played that on FIFA, yeah, if I loaded up a game of FIFA right now and I did that on FIFA, I'd be paired up against someone. They'd be like, oh, this is going to be an easy win. Do you know what I mean? They're going to look at that and go, what the fuck has he done here? Does he have a clue what he's doing? Yeah? It's true.
It's football.
Yeah?
It's football musical chairs. That's all it is. It's musical chairs.
It's bollocks, mate. Like, there isn't... And another thing that gets my goat up, right, is the fact that, like, people go, yeah, but who's available? Every fucker's available if you pay the going rate. Yeah? Any manager in world football is available, whether they're contracted or not. Yeah? All this bollocks about, oh, yeah, but Arsene always sees out his contracts. He's so loyal. Yeah? He could have left for anyone. Bollocks. He could have gone to PSG, he would have got sacked. He could have gone Real Madrid, he would have got sacked. They'd have the white fucking hankies out in Madrid. Yeah? He would have got potted. Right? Now, I see him as a bigger problem than Stan Kroenke. The only thing that pisses me off with Stan Kroenke is the fact that when we were selling the likes of Van Persie and Fabregas and all our better players, he could have dipped his hand in his own pocket and gone, nah, we ain't selling them. We ain't letting them go off to rivals. Yeah, I'll throw my money into it as a loan to the club or whatever until we get it back.
And to be fair, he has come out a few times and said some shit like, oh, I don't want to spend my own money and winning trophies is not very important. These are not... I don't know who the fuck is the PR person in Arsenal. Worst motherfucker that needs to be fired. Whoever they are that trains, that writes the scripts or what these motherfuckers are going to say, they need to be fired immediately.
But do you know what? Like Paul Merson said, this is probably all part of the plan. So then when it gets stuck on Arsene Wenger after the fallout, yeah, and everyone quizzes Wenger over their comments, he can look like the saviour. Yeah, they're probably all in it together, mate.
I don't understand, man. And then you got so Ivan aside, then you've got this motherfucker, right? I mean, that whole kind of voting thing on voting him and Josh onto the board, and then when it went out that the crowd basically didn't want him, or the shareholders didn't want him, and then they wanted to re-vote, and it turns out the re-vote would have made a little difference anyway. I mean,
I think they had 97% of the vote, and then the crowd or whatever, or the shareholders, whatever it was, had 3%. So he was always going to get re-elected. Both of them were. Yeah, it was just pointless. Like, what is the fucking point? That's like saying, yeah, I'm leaving this show. I'm not going to do this show anymore. But if you vote me back in, I'll do it. Yeah?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah? I'm off. I'm gone. Oh, all right, I'll come back then because you voted me all back. It's a load of bollocks, mate. It is a load of bollocks. Yeah, that fucking Chips Keswick, yeah? The more I hear about this cunt, yeah, the more I just fucking hate him. The geezer don't even fucking... He'd rather go... His main love is horse racing. Yeah? Well, fuck off then. See ya. Ta-ta.
Exactly.
Close the door on your way out and go and buy a fucking stables.
Another brilliant PR quote. Who the fuck thought that would be a good idea? We already don't think you're footballing people, and then you go ahead and prove that you're not footballing people by coming out with something stupid like that. Football anyway. I'm like a bit of horse racing and a bit of croquet at the weekends. Then fuck off and go and play that shit. What are you about? know what you do anyway.
Do you know what I mean? Fucking dickheads, mate. Yeah, and like you said, whoever does the PR at Arsenal, yeah, this is why. Like, I've listened to that thing Paul Merson said. It's only a 2-minute long clip, right? Go and watch it if you ain't seen it. Yeah, listen to what he says, and he says, "I swear it's all set up." Yeah, he goes, so they all come out with this shit. Yeah, so then Wenger picks up the pieces and looks the hero, and it's like, oh, we're so lucky to have Wenger. Yeah. And that is how so many of Arsenal fans look at it, like, we're so lucky to have him. Why are we? The cunt was revolutionary once 20 fucking years ago. Yeah? What, and I'm supposed to believe that he done anything different other than change fucking diet? All he done was come in and change a fucking diet, get them off the fucking drink. Yeah? He did. Mate, you've only got to listen to the players that were in the squad. Yeah. He came in and told them straight, you ain't drinking champagne, you ain't drinking beer. The story that Ray Parlour tells about when he scored the winner in the cup final against Chelsea, he goes, that's because you didn't drink, Ray. That's because you didn't. He was fucking lagging. Yeah, after we fucking went and won the league. Yeah, he fucking went and won the league, and then we were on for the fucking double, weren't we? Yeah? And he goes, no drinking tonight, no drinking tonight. Yeah, they all fucking got sloshed. Ray Parlour's fucking done about 10 pints. Then he scored in the cup final. He goes, see, that's because you didn't drink. Come on, man. We're supposed to believe because he come in and told players don't drink and change diet. Yeah, yes, he was great. Yeah, but when you actually skim the surface and actually look at it, yeah, he ain't all that. And he weren't really ever all that. 3 league titles in 21 years is a piss take. With the players that he's had, he inherited the best back four in world football. He inherited one of the best goalkeepers in world football in David Seaman. Dennis Bergkamp, Ian Wright, Ray Parlour. Ray Parlour, if you put him in our team now, he would be the best player. Fact. It's a fact. Yeah? He wasn't the best player back then because all the other players were so fucking much better than him. You put him in our team now, Ray Parlour would be 10 out of 10 week in, week out. Yeah? And he'd be better than the shit we see every week. Yeah? Simple. Right? Now, if you look at that, he inherited 8 fucking shit-hot footballers.
Yeah.
Then he's added Anelka, he added Vieira. Yeah, and although Vieira signed before he signed, he had a hand in Vieira signing. Yeah?
Yeah.
But, you know, I won't totally discredit him from that one. He did have a hand in Vieira coming. Yeah, and yeah, he made Henry one of the best footballers I've ever seen in my life. But
I will say that he is a draw. He is a draw. He is a draw to a certain extent. Now, whether you believe he remains a draw when the players are here is another question. I think in terms of bringing people in, and that's why I've always said, prior to all this shit, about 5 years ago, I said, you know what? Wenger's perfect position, really, as a director of football. It is. I don't want him in that position now, but 5 years ago, I was all for it because that's what he does. He's a very good presenter, so I can understand.
He's a very good public speaker. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
He's very charming, believe him being very charismatic. You know, you go into there, you think to yourself, yeah, you know, I was thinking about playing for Atletico Madrid, wait until January. But you know what? You made it sound like we're about that life.
Yeah.
Look at the Lacazette. Out there thinking, what?
But that's the thing. Did you see Lacazette when he came off yesterday? Throwing his shirt, like thing down, his bib down and all that. Mate, that geezer's another one that's been sold the fucking dream. Trust me. And soon as Ozil and Sanchez fuck off, he'll want out. He will. What? Mate, I'm going to tell you something now, right? I see Wenger after the game. I ain't told no one this, so you're getting a fucking exclusive here, yeah? Exclusive. I see Wenger after the game. I told him straight, I'm Wenger out. Yeah? I see him up at Chelsea as well. I was literally...
Yeah, I saw the Chelsea one.
Yeah? The Chelsea one, I was literally 5 foot away from him. This one, I was outside his car window. Told him straight, I am Wenger out. Yeah? But I also told him, he looked at me, he just looked at me, yesterday, carried on signing, he signed some kid's T-shirt, yeah? Right, but I was just standing there having a cigarette, yeah, just before I was about to leave. Yeah, and I was like, why are they all crowding around this car? And I realised it was Wenger. I was like, well, I'm going to go and tell him I'm Wenger out. Yeah. So I told him, right? But I also told him, play Lacazette for 90 minutes before he wants to fucking leave. Yeah? And he goes, I've got to go, and drove off. I swear. I was literally there 5 seconds. I went, Wenger out. And he just looked at me, signed some kid's shirt. And I went, play Lacazette for 90 minutes. Please, for fuck's sake, play him for 90 minutes. And he goes, I've got to go, and just sped off. Yeah? But why? Why have we signed this guy for 50 million quid, our record signing, and why are we subbing him every fucking week? Why? Don't give it no bullshit about its fitness, this, fitness, that. Bollocks. Yeah?
You already know why. You know why. Everybody in the chat room knows why.
Giroud sweet.
Exactly. Because Giroud must get his minutes. And I've got nothing against Giroud. But
so sometimes
either play both, or you know what? Sometimes don't even play Giroud. Make him earn his place. Make him earn it.
Yep.
What is the problem? It's like it's written into certain people's contracts that Ramsey must start. Giroud must get at least 15 minutes.
Mr. Missing must start.
Ozil must start, or if he does not start, there must be an injury story that's made up. You know, it's these Ozil injury stories always are very sudden.
Yep.
There's
he's never limped off the pitch. Yeah, he's never limped off a pitch injured, is he? It's just a sudden injury. Yeah, which tells me either the players dictate them, right? Because this happens. Yeah, I know this happens in football, right? The players go, I ain't playing against them. I ain't playing against them. Yeah, like Europa League. I know, obviously, we're not going to use that type of player in the Europa League game because that's what Wenger's decided to do. Yeah, right. But I know for a fact that some of the Chelsea players, when they outed Jose the second time round, were like, I ain't playing in that game. Yeah, fuck it. Just tell them I'm injured.
Exactly.
Diego Costa's a prime fucking example. Fuck you. You ain't going to sell me. Bollocks, I'm going to strike. Yeah? And that happens in football. It would not surprise me one little bit, yeah, if Ozil did that. Like, I ain't playing in that game. I'll play that game and that game, but I'm not playing that one. Yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me. And what can Wenger do? Yeah, what can he do? Because he can't come out and slag the player, because then that's devaluing the player when you want to sell him. Like in January, for example, he can't come out and slag that player off and say, well, how comes Mesut's not playing today? Oh, well, he decided he didn't want to play in this game. He refused to play. The whole of world football go, that's 10 million quid off the price. Do you know what I mean?
Do you see those two going in January? I mean, as early as January for both of them. Bear in mind, to relate this to the AGM and the board, bear in mind.
I think there's a good possibility. I don't think they will. Although I wouldn't be shocked. I think they'll both go on a freebie at the end of the season. The one I do see going more than the other one in January is Alexis Sanchez, based on the fact that he's worth more than Mesut Ozil. And Man City will quite happily pay. They would have paid 60 million with 1 year left on this contract, or 11 months, whatever it was when they bid. They'll probably still pay 40 now in January. Whereas Ozil, no one's lining up to pay 40s for him. You might get a 20, yeah, maybe 25 at a push, but nobody's going to go in and go 40 million, we'll have him. No one. Whereas Sanchez, they will. So I don't think either of them will go, but I wouldn't be shocked if Sanchez did.
Let me ask you a question then. Based on kind of the AGM and Thursday's announcements, I think the one thing that I think everybody was a bit surprised about was the fact that everyone was so against joining that board. And a lot of the stories we were hearing over the summer was that he was the one voice trying to convince Stan
to sell
and walk away. So you would think, you know, people would look at him quite favourably because of it. Do you think that the heat he's getting is purely on the basis that he is Stan's son, and it's just a case of trying to get as many of these motherfuckers out as possible, or what do you think the reason behind it is?
Because I think it's because his surname's Cronky. You know, we have heard the stories about he wanted his dad to sell and this and that. Yeah, nobody knows whether that's true. Yeah, the only people who know if that's true are him, his dad, and anyone else that was involved in the conversation. Yeah, we don't know that. All these journalists that write stories, I don't know why people still read their shit, mate. Yeah, they get 0 points.
Well, we were told to read the Telegraph on Thursday. So.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you want to hear from the main man. Go and read the Daily Telegraph, even though he's sat on stage.
I saw that and I thought, you tough motherfucker. The Telegraph.
Wait, I need to get myself in one of these fucking AGMs, man. I swear. I'm going to figure out how. I think I have to join the AST to get in. To get in it, I'm going to do it. I want to go because when they come out with this bullshit, I'll be the one carted out by security going, "You're chatting shit, mate. You're chatting shit." Yeah, but I wouldn't have none of that. I mean, Josh Kroenke, right? I don't really know much about the guy. Yeah, apart from he's the son of the owner of Arsenal Football Club. That's all I know. Yeah, and that we've heard a story that was put out in the press by a bunch of lying journalists that are now in a business that's a dying breed. Their newspapers probably have next to no sales compared to 20 years ago. Yeah, you know that industry is dying a death because of all this online stuff, like an online newspaper. So I know they get to still put their stuff out online, but mate, you've only got to look at John Cross's fucking Twitter feed. Yeah, come on, seriously, the shit that cunt comes out with is just a fucking joke. You just got to sit there laughing. Yeah, the only journalist I actually put any credibility on at all, and the only one I genuinely read his stuff, yeah, is Henry Winter. That is the only one who I actually go out of my way to read.
You like a bit of Henry Winter. You've told me that before.
He's sound, mate, and the guy's fully Wenger out as well, so it makes it even better.
Is he an Arsenal fan? I didn't know that.
I'm not sure if he's Arsenal, yeah, but I know that when he writes his stuff on Arsenal, yeah, he nails it. Every single time I read it going, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, there's not once I've ever read any of his stuff thinking, nah, you're chatting shit there, mate. Whereas all the others, yeah, I can imagine that all the others sit in a room with Wenger with their jaws on the floor like, oh my God, we're in front of Arsene Wenger. Whereas Henry Winter would just sit there and fire the questions we want to know. Like the answers to. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you go and read some of Henry Winter's articles on Arsenal, mate. Yeah, he absolutely nails it. These other ones, they all lick his arse. Yeah, they'll slag him off, and then the next week they'll lick his arse. John Cross is proof of that. John Cross comes out with so much stuff that contradicts what he put out a week earlier. Yeah, and then he wonders why he's got no credibility. Yeah, we could make up. If you actually look at a journalist, a sports journalist, a football journalist, yeah, summer transfer window predictions or stories, I bet they get less than 1% accurate. Guarantee it. Less than 1%.
100%.
Yeah.
100. I agree with that. 100%.
And I know that football changes and things move fast, and a deal could be on 1 minute and off the next minute. But come on, some of the shit. I heard TalkSport talking about this yesterday. Yeah, they were saying Steven Gerrard is linked with the Everton job.
Oh wow!
Really? What fucking idiot made that up then? Steven Gerrard, born and bred, yeah, played for Liverpool, fucking didn't leave Liverpool until the very fucking end, yeah, and there's now a coach at Liverpool, is now linked with a job across the road. Come on, really? And I know a lot of Liverpool players were Everton fans when they were little, like Jamie Carragher, yeah, and others. Yeah, there's no way in a million years that's ever going to happen. So what idiot made that up?
I mean, blimey, it was bad enough when Michael Owen played for United. Never mind Gerrard doing some shit for them.
Look at when Gerrard was linked with Chelsea. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? The death threats, the fucking camping outside his house, spray painting up his house. You know, same with Rooney as well. I know that's a different club, it's Manchester. Yeah, but there was only one club Rooney was ever going to go to, and that was Everton. That's what I'm saying. These journalists, they make up these shit stories. Yeah, so like, you know, yeah, they can sit there and say Josh Kroenke was trying to persuade his dad to do this. Why would they do that? Why would they put that story out there? Because they don't know that that's the case. Yeah, there's moles inside every football club that will come out and fucking they'll know stuff. Yeah, but they ain't going to know the ins and outs of a full conversation between them. Yeah, and the reason they're doing stuff is to, to manipulate a fan base. That's why they're doing it. Like every Liverpool fan reading that article about Gerrard linked with Everton is now going to have the fucking ump. They're either going to go one or two ways. They're either going to go, that's complete and utter bollocks. Yeah. Or they're going to have the ump with Gerrard. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And they're trying to play with the fans, which is what the journalists have been doing for fucking 100 years in this country. Yeah. It's just manipulating the fans' mindset into what they want to sell their article.
Mm.
Yeah. Gerrard ain't ever going to fucking Everton. Come on. We know that. And we're Arsenal fans. So why would you even bother making that story up? Me and you could come up with better transfer stories than John Cross. We could. We could. Mate, we're linked with Mbappe. Yeah, we're linked with Mbappe. Why was that story put out there? Why was that story put out there in the summer? Yeah, it was put out there to get all the fan base, all of them to get we're going big this summer. Let's renew our season tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as soon as that window closed, all them stories quickly vanished.
Of course.
Vanished.
Soon as the season tickets were renewed, Mbappe's story was dead in the water. Yeah. Then the last little bit of hope was, let's go and bid £92 million for Thomas Lemar. Yeah, that was another one. Is anybody seriously stupid enough to think we actually bid that? We bid 35 million quid for him 2 months earlier. We've now bid 60 million more. Come on, really? We weren't ever in for Thomas Lemar.
I could believe we were stupid enough to last minute change our minds on Lamar and think, okay, we'll actually. Yeah, but I could believe Arsenal would be ignorant enough to think that Monaco would let go of their player 2 hours before the damn window shut.
See,
I could believe that.
I think Arsenal could have possibly gone back in with a bid. Who knows? I don't even think we were in for him in the first place, mate. I really don't. Yeah? I really don't. I don't think we wanted him. And if we did want him, we knew early we weren't getting him, which is why all this like little stories being leaked. Arsenal linked with Lamar for 30 million. Yeah, then that'd go quiet. 2 weeks later, he's still not gone anywhere. Arsenal linked 35 million. Yeah, then it goes quiet and it's like Thomas Lemar deal dead. So then all the fans are up in arms on deadline day. Yeah, we ain't signed no one. Blah, blah, blah. A journalist's job is to sell the newspaper. Yeah, that's first and foremost. But they're sort of like the mouthpiece for the football club. So the club will have people that work for them that go to these journalists and feed them a story just to stick it out there. And then off of the back of it, they'll decide what they're going to do. Thomas Lamar's a prime example of that. Yeah? Put a Thomas Lemar story out of 30 million quid. All the Arsenal fans are buzzing. We're going to go and buy a decent footballer. Yeah? Everyone's buzzy around season ticket renewal time. Yeah? That's why they've done it. So season tickets got renewed. Then it goes dead. Then the fans get fed another story, 35. We've gone up to 40. Then Liverpool come in for him. £75 million. They put a formal bid in. Yeah? We got that story about 2 days before deadline day. Yeah? So then the Arsenal fans are going nuts. Arsenal fucking people are then going, oh, fuck, we got to assess this. Oh, shit, they're going nuts. All right, feed the story out. We bid 92 mil. We tried. Do you know what I mean? And there's fans that suck it up. There's fans out there that genuinely believe we bid that. We didn't bid that. We didn't even bid for him. If we wanted that player, why didn't we go and buy him? Why did we ponce about with 30 million, 35, 40? If we wanted him, we would have gone in and gone, what do you want? All right, you want 90. Okay, well, we ain't paying 90. Yeah, so we'll give you 70. And we would have had the player in week 1 of the fucking transfer window. Instead, we went, oh, yeah, 30 mil. We probably didn't even bid 30 mil. Probably didn't even want him. It's just a tool to get season tickets renewed. And it happens every year. Mbappe, Lamar this year. The season before it was Benzema. The season before, it was Higuain. Do you know what I mean? The season before, it was Suarez. Yeah? It's a clever tool. And that's why these journalists will always have a job. Yeah, because they are the mouthpiece of football clubs. That's why they always get VIP treatment at football clubs. They always get the tea and biscuits. Yeah? When they go to a press conference. Yeah? Because the club have them on side. Because they put a story out, they drop a story, and then they see the backlash that comes off of that. If it's good, they go, oh, fucking hell, yeah, we'll go with that. If it's shit, then it's like, oh, no, we better not do that.
Yeah, but also keep in mind, they get enough money from fans, so they may as well provide the least they could do.
I bet they're not dipping rich tea in their cups of tea, mate. That's for sure. Chocolate hobnobs, probably.
Just out of interest, how much do you think Ivan Gazidis is getting per year? I actually know the answer to this, but I want to see if you know.
What, salary or bonus?
Salary. Per year.
I'd say 2.3 mil.
Wow, that's an excellent guess. It's 2.6 mil.
Oh, there you go.
Per year. Crazy.
2.6 million. If you add that to Steve Bold, who's on 1.5 million, and then add that to Wenger, who's on 10 million, yeah, that probably could have brought Thomas Lemar.
You really want us to get rid of Steve Bold, don't you?
Mate, do you know what, right? The guy was a decent centre-back, yeah? But what does he do? He just sits there, yes, Arsene, no Arsene, 3 bags, full Arsene. What does he do? He don't do anything. He literally don't do anything. And it winds me up, mate. It's just like, he just sits on the bench like a lapdog, taking 30 grand a week.
So it's funny you should say that. I've told you this story privately on WhatsApp before, but I'll tell the viewers watching. So I had a guy come up to me in the street who recognized me from the show. And sorry, I completely forgot your name, mate, but he came up to me and said, "Oh, I've seen you a couple of times. You know, the one thing we need to get out there is the Steve Bold agenda." I was like, "All right," and he was like, "Yeah, have you ever noticed that when Wenger needs a result, that he tends to get it, and the team play it in a different way, and that's because he believes is left to control the team for that particular week, and that the result is because of Steve Bold." Now, listen, I promised I'd say it to him. The next time I had an opportunity like this, I'd put out this theory out there. Lee, I'm telling you now publicly. We've had this conversation privately. I'm telling you that now publicly. What do you think by that theory? And
I know who it was that told you that. Yeah,
the theory is out there. It's out there.
I know who it was that told you that, and if he's watching, this is nothing against you, bruv, yeah, because you're sound, right? But that's the biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard. The guy sounds, I don't dislike him. I think you're a top fella, yeah. I know who that guy is, yeah. Right, who had the conversation, but nah, that's bollocks. I don't go with that, man. Yeah, I think the reason we always get a result when it's needed, yeah, is because the players think, shit, we better fucking put a shift in today. Yeah, and that's why they do it. Look at yesterday. Yesterday, we're coasting, just cruising through a game against Swansea. Yeah, just cruising. They get booed off at half-time. Them motherfuckers are out there before kickoff, ready and waiting. Yeah, because they knew what was coming if they didn't fucking perform in that second half. Yeah, because they got booed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got booed off. Do you know what I mean? And you know, I can't go with that, man. Steve Bold don't do jack shit for me. And if he did, yeah, if he is doing stuff, then he should resign because that defense is a shambles. Yeah, our defensive play without the ball is just a joke.
It's so bad.
It's a joke. I was watching Tottenham the other night against Real Madrid. Christian Eriksen and Harry Kane were in left and right back position, tracking back and getting the ball. When do our players do that? I know that's against Real Madrid, so maybe that's the extreme, the extreme example. But I watch a lot of Tottenham on TV because they're always fucking on recently, and I see them on Match of the Day. Your defence starts with your attacker. The amount of times Lacazette runs past Mesut Ozil to go and get the ball back, that happens all the time. When you watch Tottenham, as soon as Tottenham lose the ball, Harry Kane fucking straight back. Eriksen straight back. It's drilled into them. Yeah, which is why I know Steve Bold ain't doing jack shit at Arsenal, because if he was, he'd have Mesut Ozil up by the fucking throat. He would. He would, because he don't do anything. Although, admittedly, yesterday in the second half he did. Yeah, and against Everton he did.
I will say this though.
But let's see if he does against Man City.
How much does it hurt that I'm actually fearing that Tottenham game just as much as I'm fearing City? And normally, every year I go into a Tottenham game pretty optimistic, because that's the one game that historically the fans will not allow to not show some sort of effort. But I'll be honest, the way Tottenham are playing and the way we're defending, I'm not hopeful at all, because if we go 1-0 down to them,
we ain't coming back into it. We ain't gonna. If we go 1-0 down to them, we're up against it, mate, and we'll get done 2 or 3.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. At least with City, I still don't buy that the defense has been fixed overnight.
Mate, listen, Man City have spent £250 million on fucking centre backs in the last fucking 5 years, and they're still shit. Yeah. Their centre backs are garbage. John Stones is pony. Yeah. And I don't even care if there's any City fans watching this. He is shit. Yeah. Kyle Walker, he's all right. He's not great. He was probably the best right back in the league last season, but that says more about the quality of right backs in this league. Yeah. It's true though, isn't it?
I know you're not a huge fan of Walker.
And their goalkeeper, I don't think it's all that, although he is better than the other clown they had in goal. That every shot against him went straight in. What was his name? I can't remember his name.
What, Bravo?
Bravo, Claudio Bravo, that's it. Mate, he had some mad stat, like 14 shots on target, 12 goals against. It's like, why are you in goal? Like, just leave it open, bruv. Just go sit on the bench. They're going to score anyway. Do you know what I mean? But I think with City, you just said it a minute ago, mate, West Brom scored 2 goals against Man City. Yeah? I didn't expect West Brom to score 1 goal, let alone 2 goals.
Yeah.
So, in that sense, yes, we have a chance against Man City.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I still think we're going to get annihilated. But at least if we went a goal down,
it's
hope. Not like...
Yeah.
There's hope that we could potentially get back into the game.
Yeah, against Tottenham, their defence is pretty well drilled.
I admit, they are looking fantastic.
Although Harry Kane didn't play yesterday and they lost. So
you know he'll be back for the fucking Arsenal.
Of course he will. No matter what happens, he's going to be fit for that game, isn't he? And it is a few weeks away. It's 3 weeks away nearly, just less than 3 weeks. So
plus, much like fucking Wayne Rooney, that motherfucker has a scoring record against us. It's crazy.
Yeah, we know he's going to score, man. We all know that. We all knew Rooney had scored the other day, didn't we? Do you know what I mean? So that's the thing. Like, the last time we beat Spurs, I think Thomas Rosicky scored the goal, like in the league. That was 1-0. He scored a screamer in the first minute, and then the game was shit from the rest of the game, wasn't it? The next 89 minutes were garbage. Yeah, but yeah, I'll quite happily take a 1-0 right now. But I don't know. Our fans go nuts if we win both of them and go, we're going to win the league and all this and that. And we ain't going to win the league even if we win both of them. But we ain't. Let's be honest. We ain't going to win the title. We're not good enough, mate. We ain't.
Oh God. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking forward. If we win that, I'm looking forward to you shutting down all those people that say you're going to. You'll be like, no, winning the league.
Let's be honest, right? If we beat Man City, right, we're still, 4 points behind them if we beat them?
Yeah.
I think they're 7 clear, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, who have Tottenham got next? I don't even know who they've got next, but let's assume they win that game.
Which they probably will.
Yeah. Nailed on, they'll probably fucking win it, right? What else? We beat City. We'll still be 2 points behind them, won't we?
Yeah.
Yeah? Then we've got them. Well, if it's a draw, they're still 2 clear. So it counts for fuck all. And then if we draw a Man City win that weekend, then it's back to fucking where we started. Do you know what I mean? It's like, do you know what I mean? We would have gained a point on City and fuck all on Spurs. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, this is what gets me so wound up with our fans. It's like, we can go and have a great game and go and beat Man City and go and draw with Tottenham or whatever. Yeah? But we're still going to be miles behind. And to try and catch up 6 points or 7 points on Man City, even if we beat them, is going to be fucking nigh on impossible. Yeah, because they are looking good. I'm not going to say they're going to run away with it, because I still think Man United have got a fucking chance. I still think United will win it. I really think United will win it. Yeah, but to catch up teams of that caliber when you're 6, 7, 8 points behind, nah, ain't happening. Because them teams won't capitulate like we do. Them teams won't go and win 1 out of 4 away games. Yeah, they'll lose 1, then they'll go and win the next 5. Yeah, we don't do that. We've won 1 away game out of 5, and that was last weekend against Everton. So I mean, it's not great, is it?
All right, so I mean, we have slightly kind of got a little bit off track from the AGM. So let's bring it back as we start to wrap things up, and that is Mr. Stan Kroenke. So he shows up, but doesn't say a single word. What kind of message do you think that's given to the board in terms of the leadership, in terms of fans, in terms of what his future plans are? Because these were all questions that we as fans and as shareholders that were there also wanted to ask Stan, what was his plans for the club? You know, why isn't Amusanov allowed on the board? Like, why? Organization where a shareholder has at least 30%, that guy would be not only on the board,
making
really
decisions on the board. Yeah.
Yeah, board member. What is the problem between him and this guy? Like, these are things I wanted to know. And he just stood there and didn't say fuck all. And I think, to me, among everything that was said, whether it was the dismissal of the fans, whether it was the Telegraph, that, I think, irritated people the most.
Oh, definitely.
Because he just stood there while all this shit was happening.
See, I think that showed that he's just a fucking coward, mate. Yeah, he's just a coward. Yeah, it also showed his position of power. It's like, well, I'm a multi-billionaire. This is my football club. That's probably how he's thinking in his head. It's my football club, and I pay all these other fucking idiots to talk for me. Yeah, and there's nothing you can do about it, because as soon as you want to challenge it, we just go, well, that's enough for today. See ya. Which is what they fucking did in the end, wasn't it? Yeah. And it's like, you know, why bother flying all the way over from America to just go and sit on the stage and not say fuck all? Surely you'd want to say something. Yeah, but he knew what was coming at him because he knew the questions already, which is why he just got everyone else to speak for him. Yeah, and it just sums up Arsenal Football Club for the last decade, doesn't it? Yeah, just cowardly. That's all they've been for the last 10 years. They've just been a bunch of cowards, bunch of liars, yeah, and a bunch of parasites, mate. And they're all in it together. But the one thing that's on our side is none of them are getting any fucking younger.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. That's the one good thing about them being old. I mean, that was, funny enough, that was one of the criticisms that, you know, why is it that of a certain age, they're all white males? And it came on this speech of, oh, we're a club all about diversity, and people are sat there like, really?
Really? Yeah, you're all in your fucking 60s, 70s, and 80s, and you're all fucking white. Yeah.
Yeah. Who am I meant to relate to on this board? You're
Mate, wait,
upper
do you know
class.
what? You may have just hit the nail on the fucking head. Maybe that's why Usmanov's not allowed on the fucking board, mate. Maybe it's a race thing. Maybe they're like, nah. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. But you fucking could have just hit the nail on the head there, mate. Let's be honest. A lot of people of retirement age, and I'm not paring this off on everyone, but a lot of people of retirement age are racist. Yeah. So anyone 60, 65 plus.
A lot of people hate this video.
No. Well, listen, I'll sit here right now. My granddad, yeah, fought in World War II, yeah. Trust me, mate. That guy was the most racist person I have ever spoken to in my life. He hated everybody. Yeah, literally everybody. Yeah, God rest his soul. But he hated everybody.
I feel like I need to say this. I feel like I need to say this as the black man on the panel. These are the views of Lee Gunner, not the show. I just want to say that now. I am straight up distancing myself from that.
I know. I'm being serious, right? When I say this, yeah. Maybe it is a race thing, and honestly, the job I do, I work in marketing. Yeah, I speak to a lot of retired people, mate, and I have long conversations with these people, mate. You'll be surprised how many people are racist of that age. I'm not tarring everyone with that brush because not everyone is like that, but I love how you distance yourself from them comments. It's like, oh shit, what's he doing? Like, oh fuck, let me have my minute.
Is for people to be like, oh no, here we go, another black guy that blames a certain people of a certain race and being at a certain age of being racist.
That's true. But listen, mate, a lot of people that are retirement age or above, yeah, are racist. That's fact. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Yeah, it's fact. Yeah, it's fact. And let's be honest, a lot of the people on the board are of retirement age, and they don't want to let Usmanov on. Maybe it's a race thing. Only they know that. We don't know that. We can just sit here and assume and throw things in a hat and say, well, it could be this, it could be that. But why wouldn't they let anybody
I think it's a reasonable point because it's like, well, they're all, I mean, for the want of a better expression, you could argue they're all interchangeable. And the only difference between a Musanov and you guys is that Musanov ain't English.
Yeah.
Because he's in your age group, there's no reason why he should not be on this board. So the only thing that I can think of as a reason that you don't want him on this board is because you know that he's a threat to you. So the only way of dealing with that threat is by keeping him on the outside. And to me, that's just getting the fans back up because this is the one person that could be on that board that the fans could actually like and to a certain extent. Now, to me, I'm a bit skeptical about how ruthless people think Amusanov will actually be because people always forget himself. But the only thing that I would say about him is that I feel like if he felt that enough fans were upset, if he was in charge, last summer wouldn't have happened. I think he would have said to Arsenal, listen, this is the time where you step back and let me just bring someone in. And he would have given him the opportunity to just go quietly without there being too much controversy. Because if you're the man that sacks Arsene Wenger, you better be brave because a lot of scrutiny is going to come raining down on you. And I don't see Stan being brave enough.
But he ain't even brave enough to stand up and answer questions on a fucking stage.
And there you go. That was exactly where I was going. It was exactly where I was going.
You're right, though. You're right, though, right? If Usmanov came in and sacked Wenger, mate, all the Wenger lovers in this world would be up in arms. Usmanov out. Usmanov out. Yeah? If we won back-to-back league titles the following 2 seasons, all of them Wenger lovers would forget all about it. Yeah, it's fact. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to winning, mate. Kolasinac said it in his after-match little thing on his Twitter account. Yeah? Great performance today, and we got the win. And winning is what football is all about. Yeah?
Yeah.
So there we go. That is literally what it is all about, winning. You don't go and play a football match on the weekends, go, oh, fuck it, don't matter if we win.
True. That's true.
Yeah. But
That's true.
We're not in charge of the club. We don't have a say on nothing, mate. And even the people that do sort of have a say on anything don't really get their questions answered. Yeah, the AST do a great job in some of the stuff they do, but you know they've still not had the questions answered. Do you know what I mean? They've side-skirted some of these questions for years, man. Like a couple of these questions have been put. There was the woman where it ended, where Keswick said at the end, right, that's it, that's enough. Yeah, that woman had been asking the same question 5 years straight. Yeah, 5 years in a row she had asked that question at an AGM, and 5 years she'd been batted away with bullshit.
She was just fobbed off, like,
yeah,
once again. And it was only this year that people said, hold up, people. Like, and I loved those people that did that wouldn't allow them to get away with that. You've been giving her the same answer for 5 years. Surely you guys could have prepared something.
Exactly. Just come up with anything just to give her an answer. If you don't want to answer it, just give her something. Yeah, but yeah, 5 years straight she's been asking that question, and 5 years in a row she still ain't got the answer. Yeah, that's taking the piss, mate. Yeah, and guess what? She still puts her money in, week out, to go and support the club. Yeah, and they can't even come out and say,
exactly,
here's the answer. Yeah, but like I said, none of them are getting any younger, mate. What are they going to do when it's all over for them? Do you know what I mean? Our old Stan Kroenke, he's got to be what, 70?
Must be.
Yeah, well, he ain't got long left then, has he?
Which is a lot of the reason why I'm guessing he's trying to blood him.
Hey, mate, as soon as his son takes over, his son will fuck the club off.
I think so too.
I'm telling you now, mate, that geezer, I'm telling you, will sell everything he's got, yeah, and go and live the Playboy lifestyle. Do you think his son's going to want all the fucking grief? Of course he ain't, man. He's going to be he's a multi-billionaire because of his old man, yeah? As soon as his old man snuffs it, yeah, he'll sell everything and pocket the money and fucking sail off into the sunset, mate, on a big fuck-off yacht.
Because I don't even think they're even in the country too often, so...
Well, that's the thing, like, they're very rarely over here, very rarely. Yeah, but, I mean, anyone you speak to that's American, mate, yeah, that tells you about it, like, their businesses and their franchises or whatever they want to call them, yeah, that, yeah, none of them do anything. None of them are any good, but they all make money. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. You know, obviously I said earlier, we don't know whether Josh Kroenke wanted his old man to sell or not, but it wouldn't surprise me that if and when his old man passed away, that he sold everything he had and pockets the money. That would not surprise me one little bit, mate. It's just whether whether we get the right owner in then, because the only way we're getting rid of this guy is if somebody's, like I said earlier, sells all his shares to Usmanov and he launches a takeover, or he snuffs it and Josh sells.
But then also, and I was about to say this myself, but I noticed Marco in the chat room has also said it is his most successful asset.
It is.
Why would you sell your most successful asset?
At the moment, it's his most successful.
Yeah, true. At the moment.
But a couple more seasons finishing outside the top four and not getting the revenue, then you start getting less TV money because you're not the biggest draw anymore. Yeah. Then you get a team, say, like Tottenham, constantly above us. Tottenham have been on TV loads recently as well. Yeah. They've been on a lot, more so this season than any season, I think, mate.
I have noticed.
Yeah.
I will say this. Just because an owner says they would never sell, like Lee just said, people's situations change. I remember watching something with Mike Ashley in April talking about how Newcastle United, until Newcastle have actually won something.
He ain't selling, yeah. And now it's up for sale.
Sell before Christmas. So I'm like,
he even said he'd take it in part payments. Yeah. So he's quite clearly desperate to sell. But you know what? He ain't stupid, man. That Mike Ashley's a clever motherfucker, yeah? Right? He is not stupid. He knows that Newcastle stock's at the highest it can be right now because they're in the Premier League and they're doing all right. Yeah? They're not threatened with relegation right now. Sell it now. Because in 6 months' time, they might be right down near the bottom and no one will want to buy a championship team. Do you know what I mean? He's clever, man. He's gotten back in here and now he wants to flog it. So, yeah, people's circumstances change. But if we finish 5th, 6th, 7th, next 2-3 seasons, so then that's 3 seasons out of Champions League. You've only got to go to the Emirates every other week, mate, and see how many empty seats there are. Again, yesterday, there was at least 5,000. Yeah, there was loads of empty seats yesterday. There'll be shitloads of empty seats again on Thursday. Yeah, and, you know, whether he sold tickets for that or not is irrelevant. People ain't turning up. You know, especially for the Europa League and for the Carabao Cup. Nobody wants to watch that. I do. I'll watch it. I think they're trophies we should be aiming to win. But a lot of people just dismiss them because it ain't the Champions League. But, you know, fucking the way I see it is the league's your bread and butter and people ain't even turning up for league games. Yesterday, where I was stood yesterday, there was at least 50 seats empty in that block I was in. That's just one block. Yeah? Now do that all the way around the stadium. There was at least 5,000 empty seats yesterday. And the funny thing is, my ticket yesterday was in Clock End. Yeah? Yeah, my ticket was Clock End. Yeah, I was in block 24 yesterday. Yeah? But I walked all the way around to North Bank and found an empty seat in North Bank. Yeah, ask Afsal. When you speak to Afsal, me and Afsal, we were supposed to be the complete opposite end, mate, yeah? And we walked all the way around and stood in block fucking North Bank. Yeah? Do you know what I mean? And that's what you can do at the Emirates. And like, it happens every single week. Every single week, you can move around and stand and move to wherever you want.
Although fair play, it was pretty full on Tuesday, to be honest.
Yeah, Tuesday actually surprised me. I didn't think it'd be that full, but let's have it right. 9,500 of that was Norwich.
True. Very true.
Yeah, they had all of the Clock End lower and upper, or most of the upper. Yeah, whereas that upper would normally be Arsenal. Would Arsenal have sold out for that? It actually even said outside, yeah, at the box office, sold out completely. It went.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it weren't sold out completely. It was thousands of empty seats. Do you know what I mean? They just love to fucking false advertise, don't they? Like, oh yeah, we've sold out. It's like when they give the attendance 60,000 fucking 365 or whatever it is. Yeah, really? I've seen 50 in this block that ain't been here. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it happens every week, man. But yeah, we ain't gonna get no change. We ain't gonna get nothing, mate, until these people fuck off, mate. And the only way they're fucking off is if somebody with shares at Arsenal sells to somebody like Usmanov. Or if Usmanov and somebody else sells to, say, the Nigerian guy. Do you know what I mean? And I can't see it happening. Not yet, anyway. Although it would be nice if the Nigerian fella took over. He said the first thing he'd do is sack Wenger. But the problem is they're all on the gravy train at Arsenal, yeah, because they're all making money. Yeah. So that's why they're all in it together. Why would any of them want to stitch the other one up?
Yeah, true.
They're not going to do that. They're never going to stitch their mate up because their mate is part of the problem. But they're all in it together making money. Yeah. Which is why Arsene Wenger sits there and takes the flack because he's also part of it. He's also in on it and getting a nice little 2 million pay rise this year. Yeah, so there's Gazidis, Wenger, Kroenke, Keswick, all of them. Yeah, they're all in it solely to line their pockets with as much money as they can. Yeah, they couldn't give two flying fucks about us. And we see that on the AGM.
All right, mate. Well, I guess we better wrap things up.
Yeah, before we get sued.
Yeah.
or get angry pensioners in the mentions.
But do let people know where they can find you and follow you and harass you on Twitter.
Oh, well, they can't harass me unless I accept them now because I've gone private. So now I filter that shit. But yeah, you can follow me on @LeeGunner82 on Twitter. you can also follow my Instagram as well. I don't push that enough. My Instagram is LeeGunner82. Yeah. I'm sort of switching between my football Insta and my main Insta. Yeah, so I'm going to use my main Insta with the same like LeeGunner82. I'm going to use that as my main and shut the football one down. So yeah, follow that as well. And then obviously my my YouTube channel is Gunnerbang. So yeah, that's where I'm at, and appreciate everyone that's listened to my ramblings for the last hour and 40 minutes, whatever it is.
Yes, and thank you to everyone. It got almost 100 people at one point live, so thank you for coming on the visit. And yeah, I also please absolutely destroy that like button, bitch slap the crap out of it, or as Lee would say,
donkey punch the fuck out of it.
There you go. Look at that! I set him up, and he didn't even know I was going to set him up. So there you go.
I mean, we got this on. We got this on point, bruv. Don't worry about that. We know what we're doing.
So, yeah.
Thanks for having me on again as well. I appreciate it, man.
Me and Lee do try and put a live video out there. It was supposed to be once a month, so at the moment we're doing it like at least twice a month. So we're hoping you guys are liking it and enjoying it, and hopefully onwards and upwards to Red Star Belgrade at the Emirates. So
one thing's for sure, they ain't going to storm the Emirates with 20,000.
No, they won't.
All right, it'd be nice. It'd be good.
It'd be nice. It'd be interesting.
It is going to be interesting, but we should win that. And
no doubt, both myself and Lee will put a preview out probably on Tuesday for both of us.
Yeah, mine will be Tuesday.
So do check us out, and the best way of doing that is by subscribing to the channel. That's pretty much it from us. So we hope you've enjoyed the show. Crush that like button, as I said before. Subscribe. Hit the bell, and you'll be notified of any further videos from us. And until later on, people, we're out of here. Take care.
Peace.
No Venom out, no nothing. Listen, I'm setting you up with drops. What's going on? All right, we're out of here, people. So, yeah.